Hey guys, how you doing? This is your girl Tam Cam, and welcome to another edition. I am back from a short break, and this is my first guest, my homeboy, Big B. He's a rapper, producer, educator, lyrics. What else should I add to it?
Songwriter. I'm a chef.
Okay.
I solve small problems.
He's a life coach.
A life coach. I mean, where do I go? Where do I stop at?
Oh my God. You know what? In this day and age, you gotta be multi-talented, right?
Yeah. Songwriting is one of my main things, though, that I, want to focus on more so right now. Now, when I was a tad bit younger, songwriting, that's really what I'm focusing on more so now than the rap thing. Now, keep in mind, I'll roast any MC with 16 at any given day.
Wait, you wrote what?
They know what I'm talking about. I said songwriting is more what I'm focusing on right now, and that's hip hop, R&B, pop, gospel, anything that has words in it, I can pretty much write it. Okay. But as opposed to being introduced as a rapper in my past, I said now I want to be introduced as a songwriter. But I said keep in mind, I still will roast any rapper with a hot 16 though. Even though I'm not calling myself a rapper, I'm saying if you want 16, I got 16 forever. Forever 16. Is that a store in the mall?
I don't know.
How's Forever 21?
Well, first of all, I'm not into the fashion. I don't know anything about music and all that kind of stuff. All I know is when I see talent, I recognize it and I want to be a part of it somehow. And I think that's how we became really good friends years ago.
No doubt.
Yeah. You did this song 1414 class. Senior anthem. And I really thank you for that. I mean, you really came through. And you just been doing it. I was just telling my friend the other day, I was like, I miss talking to all my homeboys. But they all didn't got married. They all got
right? What happened?
I mean, I used to have so many guy friends.
Shout out to my lovely wife too.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to have so many guy friends I could just talk to because I just roll with most guys, and it's just no drama with guys. Guys are just so carefree, and I just miss these conversations. So once again, thank you so much for coming to the Tam Cam Show.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Anything you're doing, I want to be a part of.
Awesome.
I'm putting it out there right now. Anything you're doing forever, I want to be a part of. Man.
Thank you.
I've been kind of busy though, like I say, just with life and self-working.
Right.
Working on myself more so than anything, because I think a lot of people like to say that they're working on themselves because it sounds good to say, I've been working on myself lately, man. Yeah. But are you working on yourself, and do you know what that entails? Exactly. You got to take that ego, ball it up, stuff it, and put it in your pocket when you're working on yourself. Man. Exactly. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been doing a lot of as well, man. Looking inward, So to be more specific, what have you been working on? Myself, I'm working on a mixtape right now with an MC from East Texas by the name of Jay Boyd. Okay. Dope. The boy's dope, man. Okay. All right. Mixtape is called Expect No Mercy. All right. It's going to be like 9 tracks on there. Okay. We're just taking beats from the industry. No original production. We're doing other people's beats, jumping on them, wrecking them. So you might hear your favorite artist get his beat rapped over on this mixtape, for promotional purposes. Right. So I'm working on that right now with him. Actually, it's finished, and Quick is in the mixing stages of it.
That's what's up. Shout out to Quick. Shout out to Quick. DJ Quick, that's my boy too.
Tight Eye Mob.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So we got that going, and hopefully they'll be hitting the streets within the month. I'm hoping within the month. Nice. And besides that, I've been, like I said, dipping my toe off into the jingle pool. Okay. Because I had to realize, like I said earlier, I'm not a rapper. I had to realize that I can rap, but I'm not a rapper. I am a writer. Yeah. And when I reduced that down and looked at it like it should be looked at, I was putting myself in a 10 by 10 box with just being a rapper. And when I call myself a writer, I put myself in an ocean of opportunity. So that's where I'm at right now with the writing. Writing. That's where I am right now with anything. Nice. So I've been in a movie. Okay. Now tell me about this movie. Right? Is it online? It's on Amazon Prime streaming right now.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. We got to see it then.
The movie is called Old School. It's about a local director, writer, Lamont Hawley. Shout out Lamont. Appreciate that plug. Okay. It's a great film. Independent filmmaker. He has a host of movies already on Amazon Prime. He's also an author, you know, and it's a great movie. It's a great storyline, Interesting thing about it, I had bumped into him in the past because he was doing a video, I think, for one of my other artist friends. And, he told me that he did movies and stuff, and I was like, hey man, next time you doing one of them movies, put me in it, man. I don't even have to have a speaking role. You know, it doesn't even matter. I don't have to have a speaking role or nothing. I just want to get in that lane right now and see what's going on in it.
Right.
He like, cool, B, I got you, man. Next time I do one, I'll hit you up. And so about 6 months passed by, and I forgot about it. And he hit me up, hey man, I got a role for you. I said, what? Where I need to be and what I need to wear. He told me, the details and whatever. And, I shot out there. Did my role with him. And he said, after we wrapped the scene, he said, hey man, you pretty good. Seems like you kind of natural at this. And dude went back and rewrote some of the movie to give me some more speaking lines in it. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Because I did a great job, I guess, when I was out there doing my thing with him. But it's a great movie. I got a couple, what did I say earlier? Clothes changing scenes in it?
Yeah.
They tell me if you change clothes in a movie, you're really in that movie.
Hey, there you
know
go.
What I mean? But if you're in that movie in one shot and you get killed in what you got on or something like that.
You know that's all she wrote.
That's it. You're not really in it. You passed through the movie. But I did a pretty good job, if I do say so myself, seriously. It's a great movie. It's streaming on Amazon Prime right now. Old school, host of great actors in it. I'm on the soundtrack to it. It's a good thing, man. Look it up. Check it out. You'll see what you... This
is what I love about the whole new world of digital streaming. And I love that I can see people like you and me, like on Netflix and Amazon Prime. And, even now, more so HBO, all these big wig, companies that grew up with Showtime and, who should have been paving the way, but just kind of doing it the traditional way. Now I can see all my friends. Like I just saw one of my friends on Netflix.
Really?
Who was working for High Top Talent.
Wow.
And I looked, I was like,
okay.
Oh my God, that looks like my girl, and I don't want to say her name, just in case. Well, no, I'll give her a shout out. Her name is Sahara. Check her out. She's on, God, I can't even remember the movie. Something about Which Way. It's a really good movie.
Really?
Let me tell you, I'm really critical on movies. I don't watch a lot of TV lately. I watch maybe 2 or 3 shows like repeatedly because I just love the storyline. I love the writing. But
I'm kind of like that.
Yeah, you too?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this movie was so well written and it was so well shot. Like, I give movies like 15 minutes top. Like, no kidding. I will walk out of movie theater if I don't like it.
Now, I don't know if I do that. Like at the house, I got a 15-minute rule.
But I will go ask for my refund too.
Oh, wow, it works like that.
Hey, that's how Tam Cam roll. Because I ain't trying to waste my money. I'll be like,
how you got to the top. I'm gonna write that down.
You gotta ask for what you want.
Ask for what you want.
Absolutely, yeah.
I like that.
I ain't saying you're gonna always get it, but you gotta ask for what you want.
Yeah, you gotta.
But yeah, you were saying change. I thought you were gonna say something as far as like you went through like a mental change or a life change. So what was the pandemic like for Big B?
Oh wait, the pandemic was a long, hard winter. But
like what was your first reaction when they said, you know what, you can't go outside? We shutting it down. You
know what? I was really in disbelief about it because I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't mean to say, I don't think there's anything bad to say anything, but growing up for years, when we watched the news, I always saw China or wherever, people on the streets would be walking down the street with masks on.
Right.
Way before the pandemic even hit, I would look at the world news and see people around the country walking down the streets in their hometowns and their cities with masks on. I should always think to myself, like, wow, that gotta suck to live like that, man.
Yeah. And
like you said, when the pandemic hit, now what are we doing? We walking around in masks.
Yeah.
We rubbing our hands with sanitizer everywhere. It was weird. I'm gonna tell you, to me, it was kind of weird because nobody had been through anything like that. Nobody alive.
Nobody.
Like that, you know what I mean? So it was kind of weird to see places slow down like they slowed down, and businesses take hits like they did. It had its negatives and positives. I think. I think it brought a lot of people closer together.
Yeah.
I think it tore a lot of people apart too. Because I am in the bail bonds business as well. Shout out to Bad Boy Bail Bonds, and I will tell you that people started going to jail a little bit more during the pandemic because we're in such close quarters like that with somebody for so long.
Yeah.
You start to rub them the wrong way a little bit differently sometimes.
Oh wow!
And then before you know it, the police is involved or whatever. At another level. So that aspect of it, a lot of people don't really think about. Domestic things kind of skyrocketed a little bit more. But for me, it was cool because I don't really go and hang out with a plethora of people anyway. So it really didn't affect how I was living. I was still able to work. I was still, with my family, the people that I loved, my homeboys that I was hanging out with. I was still with them.
But were you taking it serious? Like, I mean,
I guess I kind of wasn't.
Right. Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of still not, but I'm vaccinated, so that doesn't really make sense, does it?
Well, I mean, to each his own. Like, for me, I really do think that it was planned from the beginning. They knew that this was coming. Okay. And I mean, everybody was looking forward to 2020. 2020 finally came and they ruined it for everybody. So I know something was happening behind the scenes. I'm all about that conspiracy theory that's going on.
You are.
Yeah, I'm like,
the rabbit hole is deep.
Yeah, I mean, the more you talk about it, the more it makes sense. The things that they're doing to us and our country and our people. So, but we don't want to get into that. They may not even post this video if I.
Wow, and that's real though, man.
Yeah, it is real.
That's kind of like the country shifting in another way when I can't. Do I have freedom of speech? It makes you second guess that.
Well, they say freedom is a cost, right?
Right. Do I actually have freedom of speech? Can I say what I want without you doing anything to it? I don't think I can.
No.
But I've had I've had music censored because some of the things that I said too. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what I think it was because of some of the things I said. Nobody told me specifically. Yeah. Well, you said this, and this about this and that, so that's why we're not running this video, or that's why we're muting that part of your song that I didn't mute. You know what I mean? Right. So the powers that be. Big Brother is still like, you can do that, but you can't do that. Yeah. And I'm not feeling that, man. You know what I mean? My wife has a homegirl that she grew up with, a longtime friend, and they recently, sold everything they had, liquidated all their accounts, and moved to Africa.
What? Like straight up just went to the motherland?
I think they went to Johannesburg. I don't know where they went. Don't start me loud on that. But they went to Africa.
How are they doing right now?
I'm not sure. I would have to ask my wife. Like I said, that's her friend. But people are looking for other options right now.
Oh, man. For sure.
And I'm with that.
Are you willing to move away if your wife wanted you to?
It depends on how far away. That's what it would have to depend on. Because I think about moving away all the time, but I have so much family. All of my family is right here in the East Texas area. Right. I got some in Southern Cali and a little bit down in Mississippi. I believe. Louisiana, things like that, but the majority of my family is in East Texas, so I'm one of those people, like, if we move to Switzerland, I want to take my wife, our kids, my sister, all their kids, my brother-in-law. I want to.
You're a family guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's all we got.
You're a straight up family guy. You always been that way?
I'm the youngest of 8, so I kind of was.
Really?
My mom and my dad had 8 kids, and I was the last one. And the most handsome one.
Well, hey.
2, but that's not what this show about. But yeah, family is everything, man. And sometimes something has to happen to get you to see that, and I don't want things to have to happen to get people to have to see that, I guess, man. So, and I like to lead by example, because it's one thing to say something, but it's a whole nother thing to do something. Right. Yeah. I love my family. So to move to a whole nother country like that, ideally, I would love to be able to just scoop up everybody I love and take them with me, but in reality, we can't do that. So.
Well, in reality, you can do it if you wanted to.
You are correct.
You gotta speak it, man. That's the one thing that I'm learning now, that I can manifest anything I want. I wish I had it, but I have like this little bitty car. Was a van, a black van, and I got it right before I got my actual van. Okay. And so, like, once I started following, that's why I was asking you earlier. Do you follow like motivational speakers or anybody to kind of like, guide you on your spiritual journey or just to help you? I'm telling you, people like Les Brown, Tony Robbins. I
always told me about Les.
I'm telling you, man. And like right now, I've been rocking. And it's so funny to say rocking because this guy is like, he's a white older guy from like the 1950s named Earl Nightingale. Okay. When I met you, I actually got into reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay. And it was all about that, the more you make, the more you earn, the more you learn, or something like that. I actually had you to put that in the lyrics of senior anthem. Yeah, because that was so important to me, so it's almost like it was ingrained in my mind. And anytime I feel like I'm slipping in my career, I always have to go back to my library, which is right there, right behind you. Wow. I mean, is categorized by like books. Entrepreneurship at the top, and then everything that's as far as law of attraction and spiritual wealth and all that kind of stuff right there. And then everything at the bottom is like old school. I could have swore I put this on airplane mode. Yeah, so.
But you know, motivational speakers, I know I've heard of quite a few, but my thing is I don't really know who I'm listening to because I don't double back and continue listening to them.
But that's the thing. When I listen to anyone like on YouTube, well, first of all, are you into the law of attraction?
Meaning I can bring anything that I want to me.
When you think, whatever you think about, you bring about.
To a certain extent, yes.
Okay, all right. So do you think it's like a bunch of foo-foo or what do you think it is?
Well, it's going to be a long answer.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
When
the Cadillac dealership
juicy now.
When the Cadillac dealership makes a 2023 Cadillac and you buy it and you take it home, they have a device in there, you know, that they a kill switch where they can kill that car anywhere they want to.
Okay.
You know, they can kill the switch anywhere they want. Basically, they know where it is.
Okay.
They know where that is. Anytime you're
is a tracker.
Basically, yeah. You've heard of these things in your automobiles.
Yeah.
Anywhere that they are, they can connect with that automobile if they want it. Don't pay that payment and watch come out of Sears and they won't crank.
Yeah.
But they have something in there that they can connect with that. You know, that's a man-made Jeep, a man-made car, a man-made SUV, whatever you want to call it. Man made it. Being that I'm designed by God and I'm made in His image, do you think He cannot contact His creation? That's where I'm at. Do you think He cannot directly contact me? If this man can make something that He can directly contact at His will that He created, how much more can my Creator contact me if I only quiet myself? That's why I really don't get into a lot of motivational speakers. If I hear what you're saying as I'm passing through and I like it, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to agree with it, but I'm not going to follow you.
Right.
Because I think I have a connection myself. I know you have a connection. I think anybody, if they cultivate it, has a divine connection that they can tap into that someone else doesn't even have to intercede in.
Yeah.
If you're organic enough with it and if you're searching for it like that.
So are you saying, don't forget your thought, but are you saying that you don't follow a lot of motivational speakers because you feel like you can get your direct answers from your higher source?
I really do. I wholeheartedly do. What would make me think I can get it from Him and can't get it from Him? Who would be, how would I, what value have I placed on this person if I'm saying that? I can get it from you, but I can't get it from my Creator.
I understand that, but I look at it like this.
I'm not saying it's the wrong way.
No.
I'm with that. I like what they're doing.
I just know based on, what I've achieved in my little span of success, and this is my personal success. And actually, I think anytime you're going towards a certain goal that is being successful, success is not at the end. It's like doing. I'm about to throw this phone. Turn it off. Sorry. It's like at the end. It's not at the end. It's as you're going through.
I agree.
Your whole struggles are going through your ups and downs. So I look at it like this. Everyone borrows a piece of information from everyone.
I agree.
So if you look at every thought leader, and this is what I did, and I learned this from Les Brown. Les Brown is the Black motivational speaker. He actually looked up to this guy named Robert Schuller. Okay. I looked into his works. I really didn't like him too much, but then you look at Robert Schuller and you're like, okay, where did they get their information from? And then I started digging more and more. And I did the same thing with, Napoleon Hill. Where did he get his information from? And I just kept on like going back and back. And it's almost like a puzzle. You try to figure out like who was whose motivator. Then, when you listen to these people, you're like, okay, do I really connect with this? Because your body knows it. Like if you really are into them, then you crave more. Like
I agree.
There was a time where I was just like every month, okay, I was just following one thought leader, and they were almost like my teacher. So I do feel like I do agree with you when you say, you get your guidance from, your higher source, whether it's God or whoever you believe in, the universe. But I do believe that the people before us who have, created the blueprint, that is probably by far the best way to achieve anything that's worth having. Because if it was not for, and I hate to say, that I owe my success to, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Earl Nightingale, and Napoleon Hill.
Because you don't.
I say I hate to say that because they're not a reflection of who I am.
Right.
I would love to have said I've gotten most of my success from like people like Oprah, Michelle Obama, and just a whole bunch of, African females who look like me.
Right.
But, that's not the reality.
Right,
so what I can do now is start creating a path. So 20 years down the line, where most of these guys were at the prime and top of their career 20 years ago, people look at me and say, wow, I followed Tamara Campbell, and then my name would be along the line of all those great people. So that's what I look at. I just feel like if you're not self-developing yourself and following those with great minds and great thoughts, and you're, when I talk to you, you're amazing. Like, I feel like you should be a teacher. But I do feel like if you want to stay motivated, you have to like consistently keep educating yourself. I think a lot of people keep thinking that education stops, when you graduate.
Right. Or starts in kindergarten.
Exactly.
I'm with you with everything you said. I'm in 100% agreement with you on it. You have to. Only a fool would not look at somebody who's done it before them and like take something from them to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By far that's not where I'm at with it at all.
Yeah.
I definitely would love to watch people that have done it, and if it's something that I'm trying to do. Right. You know what I mean?
Like, who do you follow right now?
That word follow, I guess, is like crazy to me. That's what keeps throwing me off. Yeah. Who do I admire? Yeah. Would be a better question for me because I don't know what it is with me tomorrow, but follow it makes me like I don't really follow anybody. I don't like that word. I wouldn't say I don't like it, but I don't know. This is the first time it's ever happened to me too.
Well, I just know that most of the people that I so-called followed or I wanted to meet someday, I've actually been to a Tony Robbins event through a friend. I've actually talked to Les Brown before, twice, because I did what he did. He used to go around asking, "Oh, do you know Robert Schuller? Do you know Robert Schuller?" And then one day somebody was like, "I do know him," and then they introduced him to him. And so I used to go to all these e-women conferences.
I remember you telling me about it when you met Robert Schuller.
Les Brown. Les Brown. Yeah. When I met him, it was like, "Hello, I'm Les Brown. How you doing?" And I'm sending this to him because he said he was gonna send me something too. So I'm still holding that over his head. But the thing is, all of these people, and even the ones that I was studying and they're past long gone, like I've seen them in my dreams. Like so defined, like Earl Nightingale that I was just mentioning. And I keep mentioning him because I really want you to get into him. Like, this guy, man, I
need to.
Earl Nightingale will change your freaking life.
The last book I read?
What was it?
The Autobiography of Malcolm X.
Okay.
Have you ever read that?
I have not, but it's actually right over my bed.
A friend gifted me that book for my birthday a few years back, and I'm like, wow, this is a thick book. Yeah. The first thought. But
which is a metaphor. Because how do you get through something that's really tough?
Right. Exactly. I see you. Okay.
One page at a time. So that's God talking to me to talk to you.
Look at that. And I received that.
Yeah.
But that book right there, for me to pick up a book you wrote and read it, I really have to be interested in the things that you've done. When I got that book, I was like, well, I'm going to have to read it. First of all, it's a birthday gift. Second of all, I love Malcolm X. I would say that's somebody that I admire greatly, that I looked at his life.
Right.
Somebody not of my time, of course, but somebody that I admire greatly, the things that he went through and he overcame, and self-taught, self-motivated. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I would, like, when I got into bed at night, I would say, I'm going to read 15 minutes every night. And before long, I was going to bed early to get to that book. Yeah. Where I could read for that 15 minutes. That 15 minutes turned into 30. Right. 45. Like my favorite show now. I'm watching at night. Is this a book I'm reading? You know what I mean? It just got me all enthralled in it. And he was so resilient, His life, to me, for somebody to start out from the street, I can relate to that. Someone who starts out with the odds against him, I can relate to that. A black man, what I mean? He started out with the odds against him, and he went to jail, did time, and he found himself in there, man. And he had such a craving for knowledge and for reading that in the book it says, when the guards would cut the lights out on the cell block, it would be dark. But at the guard station at the end of the block, he would have his lamp on. The guard would down there. But Malcolm X would read all day while he had light. But when they cut that light off at night, he couldn't read. So he said he would scoot as close as he could to the front of the cell to get the remnants of the guard's light from down the hall to continue to read.
Right.
And I was like, wow. He said, when I went into prison, I had 20/20 eyesight. When I came out, I needed glasses very bad just from reading so much. And that kind of like, wow. Took me to another level. He overcame so much, man. And he recognized his wrongs. He accounted for them. He atoned for them. He knew where he messed up. And he was really following a man. And I think that's a story for another time. But that's somebody that I loved and looked up to a lot, man, just because of what he went through, how he was admired, and how he didn't always be politically correct. I think a lot of times a message can get lost in being politically correct about it. You know what I mean? Or a misunderstanding can be had. And I tell people all the time, I don't want anything other than a clear, precise understanding with you about what we're doing. Right. No matter what we're doing. Communication is so undervalued right now. Right. You know what I mean? Understanding is so undervalued right now. We can really get into an argument over a bad understanding, a misunderstanding. So let me try to understand you first. I'm big on that, man. I teach my daughters that. Like, I tell them too, you can say anything you want to me. I don't care what it is. You can say anything you want to me as long as you say it respectfully. Absolutely. Anything you say to me, say it respectfully. Okay.
I can just see them saying, well, fuck you, Daddy. Yeah.
It's not respectful. You could ask me anything. Well, why did you do this? Or why did you say that? Or why do you think it's right when I said this and you told me it was wrong? Why do you think? Whatever. Talk to me. I love that. You know what I mean? I love being educated by the kids because the kids educate me a lot. Man.
Right. Yeah.
And when you're really searching for spirituality or you're really listening and you have your ear open 25 hours a day, you hear him in different places. You hear him in the streams. You hear him on the breeze. You hear him in a car horn. You hear him in something a child might say to you. You hear him in an answer from you that you said earlier. Yeah. When and that's what I'm more toward. I didn't want you to think that I don't listen to nobody. I just don't follow anybody intently, meaning like everything they drop, I got to have it. I haven't heard this latest from this person. Right. A lot of people have a wealth of knowledge that I enjoy listening to, like him. Right. So many people have a wealth of knowledge. I like to listen to 50 Cent. Right. They might not think I'm serious, but the guy is a businessman. Yeah. What he's done is amazing. You know what I mean? It's
well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, just finding somebody who you like the way their life is going and just try to find inspiration out of it and, try to replicate their whole existence and then making it your own.
I dig that.
So
I dig that.
Now going back to Malcolm X, what I get from that is, and I can't wait till I'm ready to read the book because I feel like you got to be ready to read it. Like the book has to call me, and I know it's pretty much coming because like I always tell people like I know I'm growing in my mindset when my favorite movie used to be Jurassic Park and now it's Founder, the McDonald's movie, and that.
Does they have a movie? McDonald's restaurant?
Yeah, the movie called Founder.
Really?
Yeah, about the upbringing of McDonald's, how McDonald's got started.
I have never heard of that. I need to watch that. What platform is that on?
This movie has like changed my life in the last 5 years. Yes. I mean, like right now, like right before you came, I was, looking at some land. McDonald's is not in the restaurant business. They don't make the best hamburger, obviously, I mean, they don't. I mean, one pickle, a little ketchup, not even no mayo. Yeah. Can't really rock with they have a system, and that's what they created. They created, which a lot of other restaurants came behind them and duplicated. They created a system, and they realized that they didn't have to just own the building. They needed to own the land. And McDonald's actually always owned the land around them. In most cases, they probably own the land that the other restaurants are owned too, because they buy land in big blocks. Man, this movie, it will like really it'll make you shake your head, but it'll be like, wow, really? Yeah, like so the actual. I'm
not privy to,
huh?
So much I'm not privy to.
The actual owners of McDonald's were so much on the creative side, and that's how I look at the movie, that somebody came in who was working under them and exceeded their vision and wind up taking everything they learned from that company and starting their own under the same freaking name.
McDonald's.
Yes, but serious? It was McDonald's Incorporated or McDonald's Unlimited or something like that. It was, and these guys, their last name is actually McDonald's, two brothers.
And somebody else took their name and has a business.
And then in the end, McDonald's wind up suing him or pushing him out the company or something like that. The two brothers, like, give him a little severance package or whatever, if something. But the movie was mind blowing. It really was.
What platform is it on?
I know it was on Netflix for a while.
Okay.
But it may, I don't know. You probably can find it. You could probably pay like $3 on most platforms. I'm telling you, if you're into like real estate, if you're into like trying to see how people use creative financing and how connections work and how your voice can actually be your path to wealth. Mm-hmm. That movie is definitely the one you should be watching. But I was talking about Malcolm X at first. So when you was talking about Malcolm X, the thing that I take from that is, you know, he had all that idle time, right? He had all that idle time in jail. And he was like, you know, I think that you said he regret that he was paying for his sins, or not his sins, his wrongdoings or whatever. Because he went to jail for
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Pimping, drugs, you know, he was just in the whole lifestyle.
Because he was a product of his environment, right? Yeah. I look at it like this, like everything boils down, to me, it boils down to money. You know, people of color, you know, they don't grow up in the best environments, so they have to work harder. You know, most cases we have to work 200% harder than most people. Right. So in that case, then either we don't have time to self-develop, self-educate ourselves, just like our counterparts, you know, where, you know, sometimes they're born with, you know, silver spoons in their mouth, or, you know, they go to the best schools and you know, and they don't even work in some cases, you know, especially if you're a female. You know, you leave college, you know, you leave your parents' house, you go to college, and then you move in with your husband, and then you wind up being a housewife. And probably 85% of them don't wind up even working, because they don't have to work, because the guy makes so much more money. So it goes back to the African families where, you know, it's two incomes that have to equal to one. So once again, we don't have time to self-develop. I don't think it's a coincidence that when people go to jail, they wind up becoming smarter, because now they got all this idle time. Exactly. Like, what do I do? There's no TV. There's these books. There's one guy who called himself the something trapper, something. He's from New Orleans. This guy learned about stocks in jail, and now he's like one of the wealthiest guys in the stock game, you know, and only because he went to jail and he learned it from
that time to sit back and like read and like look at himself.
And I look at my life and I'm like, for so long, I left so much opportunity on the table. Like, for so long with my photography, I let my photography just pretty much, I was on a creative side. Like, I was charging $99 for 3 poses back in 2010. Right. When that package should have been like clearly $200. But I didn't know. But when I started educating myself, you know, about, you know, and not really comparing myself, but like I started going to conferences, and I started, you know, saying, okay, I need to stop looking at myself as a photographer and start looking at myself as a businesswoman, like a entrepreneur. I think back then I started saying, you know, telling myself I was an entrepreneur. And even when people would say, well, what do you do? I would say a photographer. I wouldn't say an entrepreneur. I had to keep training myself. Now you ask me what I do, I sometimes forget I was a photographer, because I do so much stuff. Yeah. So it's almost like I do it all. I'm like, what don't I do? You know?
Exactly. You're able to, man. And to back up a little bit in our conversation, the people that you follow and that you get tidbits of knowledge from, and you said, you know, that they're going to, you know, make you who you are. But I think you are already geared that way. Just from what I know of you, you're inspiring to me. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You're such a go-getter. It's like, when I say don't forget me when you're like Oprah, I mean that. Because I have I believe that you're going to get there, man, because I see how you move. Like I was saying earlier, it's funny you would say that, because what we were talking about earlier before you sat down, and I said, a lot of times when you said I feel like I'm already there. Yeah. When we started earlier, I said a lot of times we look at success as if we're able to buy anything we want or go anywhere we want and purchase anything that we want. But a lot of times that's not the payoff. You already are successful in just being able to do what you're doing. Yeah. Is a successful thing. You know what I mean?
For us to be doing this on a Saturday, where so many people are at work right now.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's how I had to retrain my mind. I'm like, man, can't go get a Bentley right now. You mean to tell me I don't have a yacht?
But do you really want a yacht? Or do you want?
Great question.
Or do you want the experience of the yacht?
I can't even swim.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
I do love how a yacht looks.
Well, yeah. But this one millionaire told me one time. He said, he had this building, and I was like, "Why you want to break down this building?" I said, "The bricks are nice, I said you should leave some of it up." And he was like, "Do you really want the bricks to be there, or do you want the illusion of the bricks? Because that could be replicated." He was like, it's all about the experience or the illusion of, we think that we want things, but we really just want the experience. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Like, if you say you really want you say a yacht?
A yacht?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to have a yacht.
But, the question is, do I live by the water?
No, I don't.
Will it make my life better? Like my friend.
I want access to it when I want access to it.
Yeah.
I guess that's more so what I'm saying.
Right.
I want access to it when I want access to it. If I rent one from somebody, and with hours between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., I might want to have a 2 a.m. party.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I want to have that, it's like flying. People that fly a lot and can afford it, I don't see anything wrong with them having a private jet.
Yeah.
If you fly.
Right.
Some people are like, "How do you need a private jet? You can go to JetBlue, Swifty, or whatever you might have."
Right.
But I kind of want to fly in this one.
Right.
If that's okay. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I guess if you can afford it, I think you should be able to have anything you can afford.
Exactly.
That's my thing.
Right.
When it affects your lifestyle or how you're living, or you have to rob Peter to pay Paul, when you're out here trying to look like something that you're really not.
Right.
That's the problem I have with you. But if you can afford it, go do it, man.
Right. Exactly.
Get it.
Exactly.
Get 2 of them.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? His and hers. I get me a white one. I get my wife a pink yacht.
Exactly. So that's my whole thing right
do
now.
That, really though. That's really excessive and just ignorant. I wouldn't do that.
What? Having a pink and blue one?
Me getting a white yacht and getting my wife a pink yacht. That's excessive.
Well, I mean, if you can figure let me explain myself. If you are making the money and you can figure out a way, to cover the expenses, then why not?
Because I already have a yacht, baby. What you need a pink one for?
Y'all might have 2 different lifestyles. I mean, if it makes sense, only if it makes sense, not just I don't believe in having something just to have it, and that's what I'm talking to myself right now, because I got like even just equipment that I really need to get rid of because I haven't used it. But my whole thing is like I'm in a place where anything that I invest in, it's not just a purchase. It's something that's going to be an asset.
Right. I agree.
I've used this van, this shuttle business, as an airport shuttle, as a kind of party bus, as a marketing tool, with marketing companies. Mm-hmm. I've used it as road trip. I mean, it's so many. And plus, it's working with my photography. Like I can transport all of my equipment easily, because I got a 2-door Jeep. So it's like I went from like a mini car to like the Max,
Definitely the Max.
And I love it. And,
I can't wait to ride in it.
And I think I just think at a certain point in your life, not saying that this has to be, but at like maybe 25, you should be able to start pinpointing everything you specifically want, not just settling. Like I look at my Jeep and I'm like, wow, I actually chose this Jeep.
Preach on it.
Because I remember before I got the Jeep, I actually used to walk up to other people's Jeeps and ask them. And this was the law of attraction working in my favor that I believe in. I used to ask them, how does it feel? And then some of my online mentors would say, if you really want something, you got to experience it. You got to, imagine it. And people would be like, yeah, get in the car, and they all would always say, touch the wheel, imagine yourself behind it. And not have it. And I've had a Jeep for almost 10 years now. Mm-hmm. I switch them out every 2 years because I don't like going over 50,000 miles. That's just my thing. But
see, you're so exceptional. You're such an exceptional human being. Well, I can't measure my life besides yours.
Yes, you can.
I don't like going over 50,000 miles.
Well, you know what? That comes from my childhood.
Make it hard on us out here tomorrow.
That comes from my childhood too, because I remember this guy used to come to church all the time, and he always used to have a brand new car, and he used to say that, and somehow I overheard it as a child. And
soaking up game way back then.
Yeah, exactly. Because they would always say, after 50,000 miles, that's when the major problems start to kick in. And so I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And I promise you, I've never really looked under my hood. Like, I get in, turn it, you know. I look at it this way, you know, you can afford anything you want if you can make payments. And don't ever say you can't afford to do something. You always say, how can I afford it?
Like that.
Exactly. There's always a way. Yeah, it's just a lot that, like, in the last probably 2 or 3 years, especially during, you know, our downtime. I don't like saying the C word too much. Like, I actually taught myself how to put together this podcast. I didn't have all this. I didn't know how to do it, you know, and now.
You always underestimate yourself. You always. I'm not gonna say that.
Wait, what do you mean?
I ain't gonna say underestimate. That's the wrong terminology for that. I think. How can I say this?
Wait, hold that thought. So I really what?
You can do anything. So when you say, when I see not only you, when I hear people like you say, I didn't know how to do that. I'm like,
yeah.
From what I've seen, you know how to do everything.
Well, you know what? Well, perception is reality, and I firmly believe in that. So if I can make people think that I know how to do everything, then my job is my job is done. And when I say that, I think about this example when because I was a huge fan of Young and the Restless, because my grandmother got me hooked on it. Never get caught up on those. That's the trick of the man too, getting you caught into those, you know, crazy fantasies of, you know, soap operas. I don't even know if they're still on. But anyway, one day I actually got a chance to go to The Price is Right.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't actually go. Bob Barker wind up being sick. But we're walking down the hallway at CBS in Studio City in California. And you see all these monitors and you see the actual shows that's actually being taped at that moment. We're going down the hall, getting ready to go in. And I'm like, oh my God, the Young and the Restless. And so I'm looking at them like go over their lines, and they were forgetting their lines like these actors. And I'm like, wait, why? You know, it was just amazing to see them flubbing up. It was like line, you know, and then it'll be like saying their scene. And that was a reality check for me. It was like eye-opening, because in my mind, you don't think that they rehearse.
Right.
You think, okay, wait, well, I'll take that back. You know they rehearse, but you don't think that they make that many mistakes like that. But when you think about it, you know, being on a soap opera is hard work. It's
like I say, you want to know, you like the hot dog, but you don't want to know how the hot dog is.
Yeah, exactly. So what it did to me was it really made me think that, okay, going back to perception is reality. Mm-hmm. You know, if I think that these people are just perfect with their lines, it's not. I mean, it's almost like life in general. You know, it's the same thing that the media does. You know, what they did was they changed the narrative, which they changed our perception of these people being great actors. They're not really great actors. They're humans.
Yeah.
You know,
they put together a production for you.
Yeah, they forget lines. Mm-hmm. The magic comes behind the scenes when the editor piece everything together, which goes to how the news portray African people.
Exactly.
They portray people of color in general, you know.
You can put any type of twist on it you want.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
You hold the files.
Right.
If you hold the footage. If you hold the information.
Right. If you hold the information. Yeah.
I can do what I want with it.
Right.
I can tamper it how I want. Exactly. I can color it how I want. I can do what I want with it. So
exactly.
Which brings me back to another thing of like when I don't really, the reason I don't really get into a lot of people following, because people will say anything, man. People will say anything. Yeah. People will do anything on top of that. So
right.
I encourage everybody to look within. I was talking to one of my friends, Ebony, this young lady named Ebony Hill. Shout out to Ebony and Fort Tarrant. She's an attorney actually out in the Tarrant County area, and her and three other black ladies make up a group called Fort Tarrant. There are 4 female attorneys that are running.
Oh, you were
telling
telling me about that, yeah.
Yeah, they're running for the bench in October. Early voting starts October 4th. Y'all get out there and vote for those 4 black ladies, man.
Absolutely. You got to start locally.
Yes. If you want the change to come, you got to help it, man. And it's just wonderful to see that happening. It's wonderful to be a part of it, because I'm a part of their marketing campaign. I just finished a jingle for them. Oh, love. Fort Tarrant, history's about to be written. 4 black women attorneys about to get on the benches. Fort Tarrant, judges, that's what I'm talking about. But they need our vote, because we still have hope. Called Fort Tarrant.
Okay.
And they're getting a lot of spins with it. She told me they played it at one of their events. They love it. And I look at it like, this is something that comes so second nature to me, creating something for someone like that I really don't understand the greatness in it that other people see in it. You know what I mean? And I think at times we kind of undermine our own gifts when you do what you do so well at an exceptional level for so long. You don't really know that you're doing it at an exceptional level until someone else comes along and sees, like, wow, that's how I view you. And that's how, you know, she was viewing me at for the jingle that I did. She was like, this is amazing, man. You know, let me know how to pay you. You know,
like, everybody's just trying to make it. Like, everybody's actually faking it, you know? I look at even Jay-Z. Jay-Z probably look at his life and like, wow, how did I do all this, you know? But, you know, he was just so passionate about what he was doing, you know? I mean, he's probably one of the people who I really, really admire, you know?
Me too. And he perfected his craft. That's one of the main things.
You do have someone you look up to.
Of course.
Yeah.
That word follow was just throwing me crazy. I told you that. I'm like, I don't know if I follow Twitter or... I'm like, in life, like, sit on a tree and listen to them speak?
No.
I'm like, no, but...
no, but somebody who you could just refer to. Yeah.
If anybody that call themselves an MC or an artist or a rapper or hip-hop in any way, you couldn't lay down and dream your career to go any better than Jay-Z's has in reality.
Yeah.
You couldn't dream that.
He became a product of his environment, grew up, you know, doing the only thing he knew how to do was to sell, you know, and, you know, drugs or whatever. And he realized that there was a better way. You know, the rap games was a little more legit.
Yeah, and he has a way with words.
Yeah.
You know, people think just because you rhyming, you rapping. No, you rapping. This is an artist right here.
Yeah.
You know, rappers are rappers and an artist is an artist. And he's more of an artist, the things that he does. You have to have a huge vault of vocabulary, of experiences, of different things that you know in to life, draw from.
That's what I look at when I see you.
Yeah,
because you have a huge vocabulary where in your lyrics, I'm like, wow, this guy is just like super dope. Like,
English was my favorite subject.
Yeah, like for real. Like, that's one thing I noticed about you when I first met you. Yeah,
I love it because growing up, I would always hear people talking, and I would always just listen and pay attention. And anytime somebody said a word that I didn't know, I'm exiting the conversation and going straight to the dictionary. What does that mean?
Yeah,
macabre. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, malignant.
Yeah.
Vagabond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Misanthrope.
Yeah.
These are things that
and you say it so well. And I've always said you have the voice for radio or just rapping. You know, you just have that persona.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I want to see more of you out there.
I'm trying.
Have you ever read this book or heard of this book, Still Like an Artist?
Still Like an Artist?
Yeah.
STE?
Like you stealing something. Yeah. I know it sounds a little, but guess what? It's all about the title too, right? I'm going to bring it out. It's a little dusty. Yeah, Still Like an Artist.
Okay.
Austin Keelan. And it's a quick little read too. And then he has this other one, which is my favorite. Like, these are great books to refer back to. Keep Going. Really motivational. And Show Your Work. Yeah, Show Your Work. Really, really good. Yeah.
I like that.
And so what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to gift these to you.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to gift these to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but I'm not going to give you my book because that's the rule of thumb. You don't give away your book, so I'll Amazon them to you.
I don't get the worn out.
No, you
copy. Huh?
No, I got like underlined. I got messages in there, and these are quick little reads. I think this will get you started, like just kind of making you, you know, think a little bit more about how you want the next 5 years to be. And I'm big on deadlines. I'm big on, sorry about the dust. I got dust.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they're fun books to read. And it makes you think too. I think you'll really enjoy them.
I already like the blue one. I like the subtitle on the blue one.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and stop it right here because I know I've had you almost 2 hours, but I haven't seen you in almost 3 years.
Oh, man.
So,
I'm sorry, too. I should have been more on the scene.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Not. We were thick as thieves once.
It's all, I know, right? It's all good.
With the K104 together, hung out with
Man, I talk about that story all the time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, one of the best moments in my life. But, y'all, this has been your girl Tam Cam here once again with my special guest, Big B, Mr. Rain. Are we still going by Mr. Rain or Sir?
That's on my arm, so I can't really get off. I can't really let Mr. Rain go because it's in my skin now, but I have a lot of aliases.
Okay.
I'm Bryan Rogers, first of all. For people that didn't know my name, but don't call me that.
All right.
Big B, a.k.a. Mr. Rain. I'm Salazar Scurlock.
All right.
That's my name on social media platforms as well. If you're trying to follow me, It's going to be Salazar Scurlock on Twitter, Salazar Scurlock on Facebook, Salazar Scurlock on Instagram.
And you getting a TikTok.
And it's going to be Salazar Scurlock on TikTok, I guess, too. Streaming everywhere. You can find my music on any platform you go to, whether it be Apple, Deezer, Tidal. I have things everywhere. You can stream me on Spotify. I'm also on Pandora, Ghostwriter, Jingle Maker. Get at me.
All right, guys. This is your girl Tam Cam, and we are out. We'll see you next time on the Tam Cam Show. Take care. Bye. We're starting a whole nother conversation.
But yeah.